All right, it is 6 p.m. on February 4th, 2025, and I'm going to call the City of Iowa City meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alter. Here. Burgess.
Here.
Harmson.
Here.
Mo.
Here.
Saleh.
Here.
Teague.
Here. I want to welcome you all to your City Hall, and to those that are joining us virtual, welcome to you as well. First, the second item on our agenda are proclamations. 2A is Black History Month. Whereas there is no American history without Black history, and we can take time each February to commemorate that truth, we use this month and beyond to reflect on the heroes who preserved in the face of unconscionable discrimination. And whereas Black History Month grew out of Negro History Week, first proposed by scholar Carter G. Woodson in 1926, who chose the second week of February to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Black History Month seeks to recenter the efforts of African Americans to tell a fuller story of America. And whereas this year's theme is African Americans and labor, which focuses on the various and profound ways that work and working of all kinds, free and unfree, skilled and unskilled, vocational and voluntary, intersect with the collective experiences of Black people. And whereas the theme intends to encourage broad reflections on intersections between Black people's work and their workplaces in all their iterations and key moments, themes, and events in Black history and culture across time and space and throughout the U.S., Africa, and the diaspora. And whereas, like religion, social justice movements, and education, studying African Americans' labor and labor struggles are important, organizing for new interpretations and reinterpretations of Black past, present, and future. And whereas this Black History Month, let us draw inspiration and courage from the heroes who came before us as we continue to work toward full equality and representation. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Teague, Mayor of the City of Iowa City, do hereby proclaim the month of February 2025 to be Black History Month in the City of Iowa City. And to receive this, we have Bijou, who is going to be accepting this, and Nima Ash as well. So let's give them a welcome.
Hello, Iowa City Council members, and thank you so much for allowing the Black Student Union to accept this proclamation of Black History Month. My name is Nema Maliabo, and I am one of the 5 executive members of the Black Student Union. The BSU at West High aims to create a safe space for students of color while at the same time educating on Black history and fostering Black excellence.
My name is Vanessa Shannon, and by promoting Black excellence, we've hosted weekly meetings to unify the Black students and promote allyship amongst the Black community at West High. And by doing so, we've hosted a Juneteenth fundraiser last year, and we also took a trip to Alexander Elementary to promote Black excellence, Black art, and to promote Black excellence to the youth.
My name is Corte Bill, and the BSU is always working. We've worked with Voices of the Nile, which is a Sudanese nonprofit organization advocating for the rights of Sudanese individuals facing war currently. We're also in the process of working with Humanize My Hoodie under the Right House to create a district-wide T-shirt where the profits will be going to all the ethnic minority groups across the ICCSD district and ultimately spread the message of peace. And most recently, we've hosted a speaking engagement at the University of Iowa Human Rights Week, and we also had the opportunity to present an exhibit that's still up currently to this day. We're currently working on many Black History Month events, and one that we want to focus in on is the Black Business Fair, where we'll be bringing together over 20 Black-owned businesses in our area to promote Black entrepreneurship and to help the businesses garner foot traffic.
Hello, my name is Rawan. For the Black Student Union at West, celebrating Black History Month is more than just celebrating our history. It's about educating youth of all color about the real contributions made by Black people in the U.S. and across the world. In honor of Black History Month, we'll be hosting a plethora of activities, including but not limited to business fair, a field trip to the African American Museum in Cedar Rapids, as well as inviting notable Black leaders from the district to come speak about their experience as Black educators as well as individuals. Thank you.
Great, thank you all.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members.
Okay.
I want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to the Iowa City Council for the for proclaiming February as Black History Month. This recognition is a powerful reminder of the importance of Black history in shaping the world we live in today. I deeply appreciate your commitment to celebrating the contribution and resilience of Black leaders, not only during this month, but throughout the year. Black History Month is not just a celebration, it is a time to reflect and learn on enduring impact and immense contribution that Black leaders and activists such as Martin Luther King Jr. have had in shaping our world, whether in science, art, politics, or culture. Their courage and vision had laid the foundation for the progress we continue to strive for today. Black History Month also invites us to continue to fight for racial justice and equality, not only by acknowledging the past, but by actively working for a more inclusive future. Celebrating Black History Month means sharing stories of triumph, struggle, and resilience. It means recognizing that Black history is American history, and the stories of Black Americans, past and present, must be lifted and heard in every corner of our society. It's a chance to engage with history that shapes the life of the life lived experience of so many, and it is a call to action to create a world where every individual is valued for who they are. As we celebrate Black History Month, I also want to highlight the importance of the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, a nation rich in natural resources that are integral to the global economy. The DRC is a home to minerals that are essential for modern technology and the development of sustainable energy solutions. This includes cobalt, coltan, tin, gold, copper, diamond, lithium, etc. These minerals are at the heart of the technology that power our lives today. From the phone we use every day to communicate to the electric vehicles that presents the future of a clean transportation and energy. However, the very resources that power the global economy are also tied to the ongoing conflict in the DRC, a war that has caused immense human suffering, loss of lives, and displacement of millions of people since 1998. The conflict in the DRC must end. The people of Congo deserve peace, stability, and opportunity to thrive. The minerals that are so critical to global industry must not come at the cost of human lives. We cannot allow the wealth of the country's resources to continue to fuel violence and exploitation. We must raise our voices in support of peace and justice for the people of Congo and demand an end to the violence that continues the devastation of this beautiful nation. As we celebrate Black History Month, we must also remember that Black lives, Black communities, and Black futures are tied to the global fight for peace and justice. It's a call to action for all of us to not only reflect on history, but to actively participate in shaping a more just and peaceful world. Once again, thank you so much to the Iowa City Council for the important proclamation. May we continue to celebrate Black History Month, advocate for peace, and work together for a better future for all people, whether in Iowa City, in Congo, in Sudan, or around the world. Thank you.
Thank you all. We're going to move on to 2B Proclamation, Lunar New Year. Whereas Lunar New Year originated in Asian countries more than 4,000 years ago and is celebrated by billions of people around the world, including the United States, during the first new moon of the calendar in February each year. And whereas Lunar New Year is an official state holiday in California, Colorado, New Jersey, New York, and there is an opportunity for other states to adopt this official state holiday to recognize the culture and positive contributions of the Asian and Pacific Islander communities. And whereas Lunar New Year has been officially listed as a United Nations holiday in the UN calendar of conferences and meetings starting in 2024. It is celebrated by residents from China, Vietnam, Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, and Mongolia, and millions of worldwide with community activities, cultural performances, and the reunification of family and friends. And whereas Lunar New Year is an opportunity for people to learn about AAPI cultures and traditions, especially in light of the rise in hate crimes against the AAPI communities. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Teague, Mayor of the City of Iowa City, do hereby proclaim the first new moon of the calendar year on January 29th, 2025, to be Lunar New Year. In Iowa City, and recognize the cultural and historical significance of Lunar New Year, the Year of the Snake, and expresses our deepest appreciation for APAPA and Asian American Pacific Islanders and all individuals who celebrate this significant occasion, and wish Asian American Pacific Islanders and all individuals who observe this holiday a happy and prosperous New Year. And to receive this proclamation, we have two individuals. We have the Vice President, Yawan San, as well as, tell me your name one more time. Alyssa? All right, great. I should have wrote it down.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ian Wen Sun, and I currently serve as the Vice President of APAPA, the Asian Pacific Islander American Public Affairs Association Eastern Iowa Chapter. APAPA is a national nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing Asian communities by promoting Asian culture and enhancing the leadership and civic engagement of Asian Americans. On behalf of APAPA, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Mayor Bruce Teague of Iowa City and his administration for recognizing this significant Asian holiday. Traditionally, Asian communities celebrated the New Year based on a lunar calendar known as the Spring Festival. This celebration lasts for 15 days and includes cultural activities such as dragon or line dances on the first day, culminating in a lantern festival on the final day. According to the World Population Review, Iowa City is the home to 5,156 Asian residents, comprising 6.85% of the city total population, not including students from Asian countries. Your recognition of Lunar New Year enables many Asian families to come together, whether in person or virtually, with relatives and friends to honor and embrace their cultural traditions. I take great pride in being a resident of Iowa City, where our mayor and his team actively promote Asian culture, making us feel welcome and warm in this diverse community, especially during the cold winter months. I would also like to thank the city again for proclaiming May 2021 as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month and May 18, 2021 as Asian American and Pacific Islander Day against bullying. These proclamations made us as immigrants feel safe, valued, and included. Now, I would like to invite Alicia Zhou, a high school student, to share a few words expressing her appreciation for your recognition of this Lunar New Year.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Zhou, and I'm currently a sophomore at West High. Although I was born in Iowa City, my family moved to Suzhou, China when I was 4 years old due to my father's job. Living in China for several years significantly shaped my identity and fueled my deep interest in Asian, especially Chinese culture. In 2023, we returned to Iowa City, and while I cherish American culture, I also hold a special place in my heart for my roots. I'm thrilled that Iowa City recognizes Asian Lunar New Year. One of the most meaningful experiences since my return has been participating in the Lunar New Year events organized by APAPA. For 2 consecutive years, I've had the honor of performing in the Lunar New Year celebrations, where I've felt a profound connection between my cultural heritage and the diverse community here in Iowa City. I strongly believe that events like these play a crucial role in today's world. They break down stereotypes, foster mutual respect, and provide a platform for celebrating differences while discovering common ground. Having lived in both China and the United States, I see myself as a cultural ambassador, bridging the gap between the two nations, promoting mutual understanding and working towards global harmony. Thank you.
Thank you all, and a wonderful celebration on Sunday. Yes. All right. We're going to move on to our next proclamation to see World Hijab Day, and this will be read by our Mayor Pro Tem.
Whereas the people of great city of Iowa City, who come from a variety of backgrounds, are united in certain foundational beliefs, such as affirming the inherited dignity of all persons, the right of every person to be treated with respect, and the right of all residents to participate in their religion freely. And whereas we recognize Saturday, February 1st, 2025 as a World Hijab Day, and whereas the hijab, a traditional veil which cover a woman's hair, neck, and chest, and have been very important to the history of Islam. It is meant to promote dignity and respect for women while maintaining modesty and respect for religion faith. And whereas World Hijab Day was started by Nizam Khan, a resident of New Jersey, as a day set aside for women of different culture who do not normally wear hijab to experience wearing one for the day. Its purpose is to encourage religious tolerance, cultural understanding, and international solidarity. And whereas on February 1st, 2013, the world celebrated its first annual World Hijab Day in recognition of millions of Muslim women who choose to wear the hijab and live a life of religious faith. And whereas since it is inception, World Hijab Day has participated for all over the world, and whereas to combat prejudice, leaders in the American Muslim community are working tirelessly to show that the wearing of hijab is a choice, a freedom, and its blessing, as well as to educate their fellow residents about Islam in ways which are relevant and meaningful. And whereas one of America's greatest strengths as a society has been our ability to embrace our different faiths and allow their members to express themselves freely. In this spirit, World Hijab Day encourages the wearing of the hijab as a proud display of religious faith and communal bonding, which will make us stronger as a nation and more accepting of others. And whereas it is the sense of the city of Iowa City honor those important events which remind us of the rich and the diverse heritage of our great city of the nation, while encouraging greater religious tolerance and understanding in our communities. Now, therefore, I, Mazahar Saleh, on behalf of Bruce Teague, the mayor of Iowa City, do hereby proclaim Saturday, February 1st, 2025, to be World Hijab Day. And here to accept is Viana Gadora.
Welcome.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Dear respectful members of the Iowa City Council, on behalf of Mariam Girls Club, the Muslim women, and all those who stand in solidarity with us, we thank you for declaring February 1st of 2025 as a World Hijab Day. For women who wear the hijab, this day is a moment of feeling of being understood, respected, and empowered. It is a time for reclaiming our voices and telling our own stories. For far too long, others have spoken on our behalf, misrepresenting who we are and what we stand for. No more. We are taking back that narrative. We are scholars, activists, professionals, doctors, entrepreneurs. We are mothers, wives, and leaders in our communities. We take pride in choosing to serve God through the hijab, following his command to wear it as a means of liberation from societal misogyny. This proclamation is not just a powerful step toward fostering understanding and respect between communities, but also a recognition of the dignity and the strength of women who wear the hijab proudly as an expression of faith, identity, and cultural pride. Muslim women who choose to wear the hijab are resilient, strong, and deserve nothing less than to be treated with dignity and respect. Just like Mary, the mother of Jesus, peace be upon them both. The hijab signals that this woman is not seeking validation through her physical appearance. She is beyond the surface. It compels those around her to approach with respect and to acknowledge her intellect and abilities, leaving no room to dismiss her qualifications or contributions based on her gender. Muslim women are free and liberated women. Over than 1,400 years ago, Islam granted women rights that were groundbreaking at the time, rights that the so-called modern Western world is still working to achieve. As Muslim women, we are liberated from the ever-shifting standards of society. We do not seek validation from others or from others' gazes or by conforming to the trends. We live courageously, authentically, and our worth is defined by our connection with our own God, not by the fleeting fashion. Islam has always been a modern religion, and it does not need to be liberated in the way that some might claim. By officially recognizing this day, we have opened the door to greater dialogue, to acceptance and solidarity with the Muslim women and the girls worldwide. Once again, thank you for this meaningful proclamation. Your support makes a difference and inspires us to continue striving for a world where we understood, respected, and where the inclusion thrive. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we got to see many of the individuals from the community come earlier this week to take some photos. So really appreciate you all being here today. All right, we are moving on to our consent agenda items, which is numbers 3 through 7. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved, Mo.
Second, Harmson.
Anyone from the public like to address any item that is on our consent agenda? If you're online, please raise your virtual hand. Seeing no one online or in person, council discussion. Roll call, please.
Harmson,
Yes.
Mo.
Yes.
Salah.
Yes.
Teague.
Yes.
Alter.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We are on to item number 8, which is our community comment. Public comment is intended so that members of the public may be heard by council. Because community comment is for items not properly noticed on the agenda, council cannot engage in discussion or debate due to open meeting laws. Only in-person comments will be allowed for community comment. Public comment for specific agenda items must be directly related to that agenda item, may be made in person or remotely. So welcome. Please state your name and city you're from.
Hey, I'm Brandon Ross. Hello, council, mayor, staff. Black History Month, Dr. King, he said that the two sides of the same coin, racism and capitalism. Dr. King said that capitalism does not take care of the masses, it only takes care of the upper classes. And we have to remember that. Dr. King supported strikes and workers. Dr. King also said that a country that spends more in military than it spends on social benefit is heading down the road to spiritual bankruptcy. And these are some of the things, just some of the things he said on this day, not on this day, but in his day. And we lost him. We lost one of the great political activists and great minds and great spiritual leaders in our country's history. And there won't be another person like him. You know, you can look, but there won't be. And African American people have done so much for this country. Without the African American people, there would be no economy. They did all the physical work for many, many years under enslavement. And this is true in many of the Western countries. And the African countries provided basically for the West pretty much their capital advantage. And so I would like to just say thanks for African American people and to keep these things in mind. With that, I would like to mention that locally we had a bank robbery not too long ago, and the man robbed a bank for $1,000 and ran into the public library and was found on the computers using the free to the public resources of our very good public library. And the police drove up in cars and guns and everything, went in there. Unfortunately, no shot was fired, and the man was removed. And apparently, we found out later that the man had actually told the policeman that he wanted to go back to jail, and that if they didn't take him back to jail, that he would rob a bank. Well, that doesn't seem very sporting, but he didn't tell them which bank he would rob. And basically, that was his whole goal. Holding up the bank, he had a gun, but he had no bullets. The woman at the teller, I guess, gave him $1,000, and he made it as far as the library. As far as I understand, federal law means that he gets about 20 years for holding up a bank. And that's where he wanted to go. It's a sad state of affairs when people in our community, they don't have any resources and they're outside in the cold. And, you know, because we don't have enough affordable housing or anything like that. And that a person like that, who is a human being, had to do such an act. And then, you know, will be in jail. And that was his best option. We can do better. We have the biggest prison population in the world, and then we should do better. We should do better locally. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. And if anyone wants to speak, please raise your hand at this time so that I know. All right. And there's a sign-in sheet here, and in the back there are also some stickers that you can pre-sign and just drop it in the basket. I'll ask the next speaker to come forth, and please state your name and city you're from. You'll have up to 3 minutes. Welcome.
Wonderful.
Good evening, council members and staff. I'm Jessica Andino. I'm a resident of Iowa City, and I stand before you today as the executive director of the Johnson County Affordable Housing Coalition. At the coalition, we amplify voices throughout the entire county, not just in Iowa City, to continue to voice affordable housing as our top concern. I was here to discuss the proposed reduction in the Affordable Housing Fund in fiscal year 26 and make some important comments and maybe statistics at you about why we truly believe that that fund should be maintained. But, you know, you just had a work session in which I listened to and was happy to listen to because it seemed that council members that are sitting here today were clearly in favor of maintaining that affordable housing fund at the amount of originally placed fiscal years. So we greatly appreciate that. So instead of bombarding you with statistics and clearly persuasive arguments on my behalf, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for listening to us at the coalition. Thank you for listening to residents that continue to state that affordable housing is one of their top priorities. And thank you to staff for making time and opportunity to talk and to listen to us and have persuasive conversations between us, though we might not always agree, but we always come to a common understanding that residents of Iowa City are special. We're a very, very special place, and affordable housing will continue to be our top priority. I look forward to collaborating with you, staff, and council members, and together we can hopefully find some successful solutions for this issue in the next coming years. So thank you.
Thank you. Great. Just come right on down. Yes, welcome.
Good evening, Council. My name is Carolyn Scherf-Ryan. I'm a permanent resident of Iowa City and current graduate student in the University of Iowa's School of Urban Planning and Public Affairs. I want to sincerely thank you for restoring the full $1 million contribution to the Johnson County Affordable Housing Trust Fund. This decision will have a real and lasting impact on our community. As you know, Housing Trust Fund has the proven ability to leverage outside investment, and based on its own reports, every $5 million invested leverages $70 million in additional financing for housing. That means your decision to restore the $200,000 that was proposed to be cut protects $2.8 million in potential housing investment. This funding isn't just a moral commitment to this basic human need, it's a sound fiscal decision. New housing developments supported through this investment will contribute to the city's tax base. If we assume a property tax rate of 1.5%, a $3 million development would generate $450,000 in property tax revenue annually, far exceeding the $200,000 short-term savings from the proposed cut. Over 30 years, that would have been a loss of $13.5 million in property tax revenue. That said, I remain deeply concerned that this cut was even considered. Every member of this council has identified affordable housing as a core priority, yet the fact that it was on the table suggests that that commitment is not fully embedded in the city's shared vision and budgetary process. If housing is truly a top priority, it must be treated as such consistently and at every level of decision-making. I urge you to take steps to codify affordable housing as a protected budgetary priority so that future funding and zoning decisions align with the values you have publicly stated. The people deserve it. Your leadership on this issue is critical, not just at this moment, but in ensuring that fair, accessible, and affordable housing remains a sustained investment for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and city you're from.
Missy Forbes. I'm from Iowa City. A little bit out of order, but I'm the executive director of 4Cs. And I wanted to follow up just with some of the comments during the work session, and also just to follow up with my email that I sent to council. First of all, I want to thank Jeff and his staff for the work that they do, scoring, and all of the things they do with the aid to agencies and under their purview. I always rely on staff for technical assistance and other things and communication just about what's going on in the city. And so that is why I take very seriously my communication to HCDC and also to the council. And I wanted to just follow up with some of Councilor Alter's comments and then to Councilor Burgess's comments as well. In my communication to HCDC, our FY24 data was not reflective of the work that we do. And so I addressed that with HCDC, but I wanted to also just come here and talk to you about that as well. I have worked with United Way staff to write that SHIP, but as I said, it doesn't speak to the data that we were reporting. It was inherited data points from before my time, and again, not reflective of the work that we do. And so I wanted to point that out. Another thing that I want to talk about, especially considering that the funding cycle that we're looking at is another 2-year cycle, and my request is that our previous funding remain static, is that because childcare, like affordable housing, is always listed as a priority and a concern, as a barrier to it's always pointed as a barrier. It's listed as priorities. Our registered apprenticeship program, which was recognized as Better Together 2030 as innovative programming, is also something that aligns with the city's priority regarding workforce. And we are the only local agency that specifically addresses issues around childcare and workforce, as I noted. But you'll also need our expertise when you look at the navigating the purchase of land north of Iowa City, where there is no accessible, affordable childcare in that part of town. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and city you're from.
Yeah, Perry Lenz, and Iowa City. Anyway, the issue I want to talk about is the issue, I don't know if you've talked much about immigration. We need to really stand up for our immigrants, make sure we're supportive of them. There's these ICE raids that have been going on all over the country, like in Chicago. I heard there was one in Muscatine. They can now go into schools, churches, public libraries, hospitals, all sorts of public institutions. I know this might be hard to do, but at least take a stand, like push back against this or whatever, and support the immigrant community and do whatever you can to support these people. So this is an issue that's been on my mind, and I volunteer with the Catholic Worker House, and they're talking about doing what they can, to help out the immigrants. So anyway, I would like to see the city be supportive or whatever. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and city you're from.
Good evening, City Council. I'm Sharif. I'm with the Center for Work Justice. And I would like really to thank the City Council, city staff for the efforts that has been always supportive for our organization. I also wanted to address the issue regarding the city funding for organizations like ours, the small and mid-sized organizations. Specifically, I would like to talk about aid to agency and the development of this, and the way the Center for Work Justice is kind of scored and marked. I think this funding is very important for the organization. It has been always the backbone that helped us support a broad and wide groups of our community here. It always helped our immigrant groups. It always helped our get us move on with our the low-wage workers. I think it is more important now than ever for because of the challenges those people are facing right now. The city, we've heard the city talking about the capacity of the organizations as an important component, and I really appreciate that, but I also think that building the capacity of organization will depend on this kind of funds to support it. We've been working with the city staff, trying to lean on the resources and learn how to really improve and really develop our capacity. We've been doing so many things. We responded to kind of recommendations from city staff by hiring new people and by getting like a more professional grant writers who can support us. All those things, it is obviously they need this kind of fund, but at the same time, we hope that we continue working with the city staff to really communicate in a better way so we can improve our capacity to be able to do more and support more for this community. So I really just urge the city council in here and the city staff to consider continuing providing this fund for us. It is important. It just shows that how important it is to prioritize the people, prioritize the same groups that we talk about all the time, the immigrant groups, the workers, the low-wage workers, how to support those people in this time and into the future. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and city you're from.
Well, I'm Haley Wilson, and I live in Coralville, and I'm a nervous speaker. And I first want to say thank you for all of your hard work and everything that you guys do. And I want to dogpile on everyone's emphasis on how important housing funding is. Johnson County actually has housing as one of their major healthcare priorities right now because it's so impactful for the health of citizens and the safety of citizens or community members that are living in Johnson County. And I really appreciate hearing the community talk about this and hopefully seeing the support of everyone who has power to ensure that different things are funded and not defunded, especially when it's such a concern that we've identified through 3 years of analytics and surveying and all of that stuff. So I really appreciate the work that you all have done so far. And I hope that the support and advocacy continues and everyone realizes that it impacts all of the communities that are in danger in our current environment. It's a very there's not a great word to use, I guess, a weird time that we're in right now. And I think we've got a very strong community that can band together and make sure that we're supporting people that are most vulnerable to the dangers that might approach everyone very, very quickly. And I just want to emphasize the importance of housing. That is impactful for not just housing, but health and mental health and food security and anything that has to do with built environment, all of those things. And so knowing that you guys are working towards that goal is very lovely. I'm very happy about that, but I want to ensure that, we've got a lot of data supporting how important housing is for making sure that our community is safe, healthy, happy, and being able to be the best person that they are meant to be. And housing is so important for that. I've had physicians tell me we're doing the boring surveys that everyone hates taking, that they wish that they could prescribe housing for someone who is experiencing health concerns because they need to have this space to make sure that they are healthier and that they can contribute what they have to society and engage in community. And so I really appreciate you all, and I want to thank you, and I hope that everyone knows that, reach out to...
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to have you just sign in there. I do recognize that Missy did not sign in, but yes. Anyone else wanting to speak that is present here today? Please. And besides the speaker here, anyone else want to speak, please raise your hand. Okay, so we have 2 more speakers to go. Great. And I'll just remind folks online that our public comment on a non-agenda item is only for those that are in council chambers. Welcome. Please state your name and city you're from.
Greg Hearns, Iowa City.
Welcome. Yes.
Good afternoon or evening. It's been a while since I addressed the council, but I have a kind of love-hate relationship with you guys. I think the council's always done a great job of listening and kind of understanding, the needs of the community. I'm kind of biased. I've lived in Iowa City for over 50 years, and in my opinion, Iowa City and Johnson County is the greatest city and county in the whole state, and I stand by that. But with that being said, I'm here to address the aid to agencies funding as well. In the past, we've had some issues with our reporting and things like that. None of it was based on any malicious intent. It was always, the situation where you don't know what you don't know. And whenever we found out that we weren't in compliance and there were things we needed to do, we tried to work with whoever we needed to work with to fix those issues and move forward. We received legacy funding in the past, and I don't try to pretend like I understand all the rhetoric and the scoring and everything that went into deciding who gets funding and not. But I do understand that all these agencies and organizations are very important to this community. They're what makes this community great and what makes this community an inclusive and accepting community. Again, like I said, I can't express or articulate all the good work that CWJ does for the community. It would take the members to come in and tell their stories to actually articulate that. But what I'm here to do is to ask you guys to, and I've never had a problem with you guys, reconsidering things before, but to reconsider, the way they're doing the scoring. I guess I don't understand it. Maybe somebody could explain it to me better. But I don't think that there's any organization or agency in this community that should be shut out of funding. I just don't think it should happen because the things that they do are too important. And, I'm not just speaking on behalf of CWJ, I'm speaking of all the nonprofits in the city. So that being said, again, I wish you reconsider the way they're doing the scoring and the funding for the aid to agencies. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll invite the last speaker up at this time. Oh, you can just throw it in the basket. You don't have to peel it off. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, council members and staff, thanks very much for hearing me. I just want to talk very briefly about two things. One, your decision to go ahead and restore the $200,000 to the affordable housing allocation.
Please state your name and city you're from.
Oh, I'm sorry. Charlie Eastham, Iowa City. That was a great decision, and I'm very, very pleased that you reached that tonight, and we're going to pursue it together. Also, I would like to talk about the Center for Worker Justice. I'm a member of the board of the CWJ and the treasurer. I'm also a member of the school board. And one of the things that really helps me in my coping with the current situation where we all face ourselves, we find ourselves in now, is that we work collaboratively together to resolve issues in this community as best we can with the resources that we are able to put together now and anticipate putting together in the future. The request the CWJ is making to restore our lead agency allocation or something close to it is in keeping with that collaboration and partnership with you, staff, and other agencies, other organizations within the community. We think we'll be able to do that to your satisfaction. As other people have said, the center has had conversations with the staff about our application for current legacy agency funding. One of the things that's been mentioned was the gap in proposed numbers of people served in different categories and our actual report. And I think there's, listening to Councilmember Burgess, I think you've totaled up about 180 different instances of service in 2023, which was less than our stated goals, but that's also a considerable number of folks. And I can tell you, if every time I go into the CWJ's office, people are there seeking and receiving service. We are not idle, as most agencies within this community are not idle in our service provision. So I hope we will continue our collaboration and we'll find ourselves working together in the next few months. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thanks to everybody that came and spoke. We're going to move on to item 9, planning and zoning matters. 9A is rezoning Cardinal Heights. Ordinance conditionally rezoning approximately 27.68 acres of property located east of Camp Cardinal Boulevard and west of Camp Cardinal Road from low-density multifamily residential zone with a planned development overlay to low-density multifamily residential zone with a planned development overlay. And this is a pass and adopt item. Could I get a motion, please?
So moved, Mo.
Second, Saleh.
Anyone from the public like to address this topic? If you're online, please raise your virtual hand. If you're in person, please step up. Seeing no one online or in person, council discussion. Roll call, please.
Mo?
Yes.
Salah?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Alter?
Yes.
Burgess?
Yes.
Harmson?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. On to item number 9B, rezoning Western Homes. Ordinance conditionally rezoning approximately 31.65 acres of property located east of Camp Cardinal Road and north of Gathering Place Lane for medium-density single-family residential with a planned overlay development. And this is a motion to pass and adopt as well. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved. Second, Mo.
Moved by Saleh, seconded by Mo. Anyone from the public like to address this topic? If you're online, please raise your virtual hand. Seeing no one in person or online, council discussion. Roll call, please.
Salah?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Alter?
Yes.
Burgess?
Yes.
Harmson?
Yes.
Mo?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We're going to move on to our regular formal agenda item, which is items number 10. 10A is charter amendments. This is an ordinance amending the Iowa City Charter as recommended by the Charter Review Commission. Could I get a motion to give second consideration?
Moved, Mo.
Second, Alter.
All right. And then I'll welcome you to give comment.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor and members of the council. John Balmer, 10 Princeton Court, Iowa City. I just wanted to appear again. I'm here with my vice chair, Molly Casera. If there are any questions, we appreciate your consideration. Again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this process. And I'd like to read the names of the members if I could, because they put in a lot of time and there was a lot of good discussion. Myself, John Balmer, Chair, Vice Chair Molly Casera, Susan Craig, John Deeth, Doreen Denning, Mackenzie DeRue, Matt Hayek, Bijou Maliabo, and Jennifer Patel. I personally want to thank each and every one of them, and I thought we had a very diverse group, and we arrived at our conclusions, and I think we forwarded a unanimous charter to you, the amendments. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Of course, how ironic, tonight we have a primary for District C. Now, when the election was in 2023, we had nobody. So we're making progress. So
Yes.
let's just hope we can keep it up. So
We are.
I've really been privileged to be, and I told you last time, and I'm going to tout again, this was my 50th anniversary when I first ran for the council, and a lot of emotions for me, and feel very strongly about this community, and I'm certainly not going to go away. I'll be available. So, and again, thank you all very much.
And thank you, former Mayor Balmer, yes, and our chair for the Charter Commission. So thank you. Thanks to you all for being here today, and to all of the charter members. I'm going to open it up for anyone from the public to address this agenda item. If you're online, please raise your virtual hand. If you're in person, please step forward. Seeing no one in person or online, council discussion. Roll call, please.
Teague?
Yes.
Alter?
Yes.
Burgess?
Yes.
Harmson?
Yes.
Mo?
Yes.
Salah?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We're going to move on to item number 10B, Joint Law Enforcement Facility. Councilor Mo will be recusing himself from this item. This is a resolution approving cost-sharing agreement with Johnson County for exploration of functional parameters and conceptual requirements for a joint law enforcement facility shared with Johnson County. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved, Alter.
Second, Saleh.
All right. And then I'll turn it over to our city manager, Jeff Run.
Thank you, Mayor. As you and Council are aware, the city recently completed a space needs study for our City Hall building here, including police and fire. At the same time we were doing that, the Johnson County Sheriff's Office was doing a space needs study for their facilities as well. Both studies have recommended pursuit of a new law enforcement or new facilities to serve both agencies. And in conversations with the county over the last few months, we've all agreed pretty heartily that it's in the best interest of the public for at least an exploration of what it would mean to co-locate those facilities together. And so what is before you is a cost-sharing agreement with the county in which we would explore just that. What would be the efficiencies, cost savings, benefits, et cetera, of pursuing a joint law enforcement center together that would include the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, jail, and Iowa City Police Department. The way that this has been logistically kind of set up is that the county would hold the agreement. So the team at Shive Hattery that led their space needs study would be the primary consultant that would do this work, and that would be under the direction of the county in close consultation with us at the city, of course. Our space needs consultant, OPN, would be a sub-consultant and work with Shive to kind of infuse our data into that process. I've been working with Chief Liston and county officials on the scope, and we landed on a scope that totals $63,800 plus expenses. And the proposal is to split that 50-50. So what's before you is a cost-sharing agreement that would commit the city to the $31,900 plus 50% of expenses for that initial scope. We anticipate that sometime later this summer we would be able to present those results to both you and the county, and at that point there could be decisions made on what those next steps would be. It is very non-committal after that. This is really just the study to explore the efficiencies of working together on a facility. Happy to answer any questions.
What's the timeline on this?
We would hope to this summer. I think we roughly said probably 5 to 6 months to complete the study once the agreement's executed.
Does that include location, potential locations,
Yeah.
not?
Thank you for bringing that up. So the location specifically that we have in mind is at the corner of Riverside Drive and the highway, so the intersection of Highway 1, Highway 6. We refer to that as our old Public Works campus. That's where our current equipment building is. Our former refuse building is still standing. The transit building sits along the river, but we would be specifically looking at that corner property to see if that would be a good location. I think from a response standpoint and just proximity of the jail to the courthouse, it works very well, but we have to make sure that it can fit the site well and that there aren't any other concerns with that site. If we deem that site is not okay, or if the elected bodies decide that that's not a preferred location, what this study would produce is some site parameters to say if you need to go out and acquire land, here are the basic parameters that you would need to fit the building that they would be recommending. And we would have to go out in concert with the county and search for that property to acquire.
Will there be other, so just with that same thought process, so you've already identified one location. Are there other locations that you all are identifying, or you're just going to set the parameters for other locations?
Correct. No other locations at this time. This one was selected simply because we have ownership of it, and it felt like a good location from an operational standpoint. Again, just thinking about response times and travel patterns of those two operations. If we deem it's not acceptable for any reason, then we're going to have a set of kind of conditions to say we need to go look for a property that is of X acres and whatever other conditions are identified by the consulting team. So
Sure.
we'll be much better positioned to go out and have those land acquisition discussions at that time.
I'll continue with questions and hold my comments for deliberation. The other question I have is, so this is thought to be sharing the resources, so sharing a building, conference rooms, that type of stuff. Is there any discussions that would take place during this study to study partnerships, I guess, shared staff?
Yeah, I think
or
that's-
any other type of 28E agreement if our staff is needing some additional supports?
Yeah, I think the intent is to explore everything. What does it look like to be able to share resources? There's no discussion about combining into one agency. It's two distinct operations and still will be. But if there's efficiencies in whether that's front desk staff, custodial staff, any number of other areas in which we both have staff dedicated, we'll absolutely look at that. And we do that now to some extent. We work together for investigative purposes. For example, you've heard that presentation before from Chief Liston. So this process will take that one step further and explore what those opportunities are. But again, it's a non-committal type of exercise.
Will the study include investigation about the uses for or of the current jail site? Or is this really just saying? I mean, I'm just
Can you
curious.
repeat that, please? I just want to make sure I understand.
Will it also include, I don't know, recommendations or thoughts about what the current jail?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it does not address the future of that.
What future use? Thank you. I was like coming around with all these words that were not that, but that's what I meant.
But the current jail is completely Johnson County, or also we done it the same way that you are thinking to do this?
The current jail is owned by Johnson County.
Completely?
Completely, yes. Iowa City has no interest in, proper ownership interest in that jail.
And just as far as the scope of the study, I know our space needs study about City Hall versus the county's sort of space needs study for the jail. The county one was, I think, at least interpreted by the board or members of the public that had more design elements. This is, as I understand, just more sort of like, not really to the design part yet, but about square footage and, like you said, programmatic overlap, staffing efficiencies. Is that
Correct, right.
Okay.
So if you recall, our space needs study didn't produce any designs. It was really just what block of space, once we combined the needed office space and locker room space and fitness room space, all that kind of thing, all those kind of things, this is how much square foot we need. We're going to take those individual components, those building blocks that form the total square footage, and just see where that aligns with the same kind of numbers that the county developed under their agreement.
Hearing no more questions. Anyone from the public like to address this topic? If you're online, please raise your virtual hand. If you're in council chambers, please step forward. Seeing no one in person or online, council discussion. I think it makes a lot of sense to go this route, so thanks to the Johnson County Board of Supervisors for signing a resolution to make this possible. And I do think that this is a great step because of our facility needs, as well as trying to see if there's any opportunities to cost save while still producing great services within the law enforcement area. I want to make one comment about the corner of Riverside Drive and Highway 6, and this comes as no surprise to many individuals. I am not for placing a facility, a law enforcement facility at that location site. Is no disrespect to law enforcement. I really believe that that is a great opportunity. It's very visible for us to do something different. That is a city-owned site, and I think that we can come together, the meeting of the minds to figure out what would be a great opportunity to put there to really showcase the heart of our community. And so with that being said, I just wanted to be known from the beginning that that is not a location that I believe our law enforcement should have a big facility at.
is the reason for that?
I really believe that it's a great opportunity for the city to showcase something that really highlights our values. As a land that we own. I understand that the land behind it, which is where our current transit facility is, we really can't build anything on there. That was the old landfill, and then we know that the ground is sinking, but I do believe that there's greater opportunity for something there that would be very meaningful, not to dismiss or diminish our law enforcement facility needs, but personally, I think in that location, I would like to see something different. Yeah. Any other comments?
When we're going to be discussing all this, timeline?
Time.
Yeah, so I'd anticipate in the summer there would be discussion of the presentation of the results, and then probably would behoove the city and the county to have a joint work session, whether that's to receive the information or discuss it if it's presented individually.
So that's where we can discuss location and everything, or before
Correct.
that?
Yeah. Right. Well, this particular study does look at this site, and there's expenses dedicated towards looking at this site, right? The team at Shive and any of their sub-consultants is going to be doing initial site investigation here, which is really kind of a preliminary look. It's looking back at various studies that the city has done on this site. We've done environmental studies on this site. They're going to review those. They're going to look at FAA regulations because of the proximity to the airport. They'll look at floodplains and lots of different public sources that can do initial screenings of sites. So there is some expense dedicated towards investigating this site, but it's not, if at the end of the day the elected bodies decide not to pursue this site, the study will still produce very valuable information that will talk about construction savings, operational savings, as well as, again, give us those site parameters to go out and look to acquire property. Because I don't believe outside of this property there's anything that the city owns or the county owns that would probably be able to serve as property for this type of facility.
And Jeff, just as you were saying that the study will help as far as any other location, would it be true that the information that we're obtaining about the redevelopment of that site could be helpful if it was something other than this joint facility?
Yes. It
Okay.
would. Yes, it would. Thank you.
Hearing no other comments, roll call, please.
Alter?
Yes.
Burgess?
Yes.
Harmson? Yes. Mo? Sala?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes, motion passes 5-0 with one recusal from Mo because he mentioned his name. All right, we're on to item number 11, announcements of vacancies new. 11A is going to be the Civil Service Commission, one vacancy to fill a 4-year term, April 7, 2025 through April 1st, 2029. Community Police Review Board, one vacancy to fill an unexpired term upon appointment through June 30th, 2026. And the Housing and Community Development Commission, one vacancy to fill an unexpired term upon appointment through June 30th, 2026. Applications must be received by 5 p.m. Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. Can I get a motion to accept correspondence?
So moved. Burgess?
Second, Saleh.
All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 6-0. We're on to item number 12, which is announcements of vacancies previous. 12A, Airport Zoning Board of Adjustment, one vacancy to fill a 5-year term. Airport Zoning Commission, one vacancy to fill a 6-year term. Board of Appeals HVAC Professional, one vacancy to fill an unexpired term. Historic Preservation Commission, Jefferson Street, one vacancy to fill a 3-year term. Historic Preservation Commission, Woodlawn Avenue, one vacancy to fill an unexpired term plus a 3-year term. Vacancies will remain open until filled. We're on to item number 13, City Council information.
Last week, Thursday, there was a meeting about the Burlington Street Bridge. It was attended and people called in, so that was really wonderful. Thanks to the consultants for doing a lot of community outreach. There's a survey available that people can respond to through, I believe, February 14th. Lots of conversations about safety, about bicycle safety, and about feeling comfortable at that intersection. So I think that was really helpful to inform how they're going to design it. Also, Councilor Alter and I went to the Airport Legislative Forum over the weekend and got a tour of the Eastern Iowa Airport. We jokingly said for the new addition, we would like Mayor Teague to say, "Welcome to Eastern Iowa Airport. Come down to Iowa City where it's awesome and amazing." We don't know if they're going to take us up on that. However, it's a really important economic driver for our region to have that airport, and they are doing really cool stuff, and they continue to grow, and they're really important for all of us.
It blew my mind. They are debt-free. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Wow. Hearing no other comments, we're going to move on to item number 14, report on items from city staff, city manager's office.
Nothing tonight.
City attorney.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
City clerk. All right, so item number 15, could I get a motion to adjourn from our formal session?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Saleh, seconded by Burgess. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 6-0.